Hello, I'm Sheryl, and welcome to Sleep Tight Relax, a cozy bedtime show designed for kids, but perfect for sleepers of all ages. So snuggle up, get comfy, and let's drift into a peaceful bedtime together. In tonight's story, Grandpa Henry gathers his 4 grandchildren, Lucy, Jack, Emma, and Noah, around the cozy fireplace on a cool Halloween evening where they will sleep for the night. As the wind howls outside, he tells them the tale of a friendly giant he once met in an old, dusty apartment. What begins as a spooky encounter with heavy footsteps and slipping blankets turns into a wonderful story of friendship, kindness, and understanding, reminding the children that sometimes things that seem scary are just misunderstood. Before we start our special story, let's take a moment to relax and get cozy. First, snuggle into your blanket and close your eyes if you'd like. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly like a balloon. Now, gently let that breath out through your mouth, like you're blowing away a soft cloud. Good. Let's try that again. Breathe in. Feel the air fill you up with calmness. And now breathe out, letting go of any busy thoughts from the day. Feel your body getting heavier and more relaxed. Now, imagine yourself in a warm, cozy place. You're safe and comfortable, wrapped in your favorite blanket. Maybe there's a soft pillow under your head. The air is calm, and everything around you is quiet and peaceful. You can hear the soft sounds of nature, like a gentle breeze or the rustling of leaves, making you feel even more relaxed. Now, take one more deep breath in and slowly let it out. Your whole body is calm, your mind is quiet, and you're ready for a bedtime story. Grandpa's Spooky Tale, The Friendly Giant. It was a chilly Halloween evening, and Grandpa Henry had gathered his 4 grandchildren, Lucy, Jack, Emma, and Noah, around the fireplace. They were snuggled under blankets and ready for a bedtime story. The fire crackled and shadows danced spookily on the walls, but the cozy warmth made everyone feel safe and snug. Grandpa Henry sat in his favorite armchair, smiling down at the kids. "How about I tell you a special story tonight?" he asked. "It's just the right kind of tale for Halloween. Spooky, but not too scary. Perfect for a night like this." The children laughed. "We're ready, Grandpa Henry," Lucy said, while Jack, Emma, and Noah nodded along. "All right," Grandpa began. "This story happened many, many years ago when I was much younger. I was living in a big city at the time, and I'd just rented a very old apartment. Now, this building was huge, with lots of rooms that no one had used in years. It was the kind of place where the dust and cobwebs seemed to be the only living things there." Jack interrupted. That sounds spooky already, Grandpa." Grandpa laughed. It did feel a little spooky, but I wasn't afraid. I thought it would be a great adventure. The rooms were big, and I liked the idea of having the place all to myself. But let me tell you, that first night in the apartment was a time I will never forget. He leaned forward, and the children huddled closer, listening carefully. As soon as I moved in, I realized how quiet the place was. It was almost too quiet, like the kind of quiet that makes you feel like you should be whispering, even when you're all alone. Grandpa smiled, but I got comfortable and lit a nice warm fire in the fireplace. I sat there thinking about old memories and the people I hadn't seen in a long time. Outside, the wind was howling and the rain was tapping against the windows. It made me feel like I was safe and cozy inside while the storm raged outside. The children sighed in relief, imagining the warm fire and the comfort of being indoors during a storm. I sat by the fire for hours, Grandpa continued, just thinking, until I felt sleepy. So I decided to go to bed. I got ready and tucked myself in, listening to the sounds of the wind and the rain. It was actually very peaceful, and I fell asleep quickly. But sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up suddenly. Emma gasped softly. "What happened, Grandpa?" "Well," Grandpa said, "at first, I wasn't sure why I had woken up. The room was dark and everything was quiet. But then, I felt something strange." He paused dramatically. My blankets were slipping off the bed all by themselves. The children's eyes widened, but Grandpa quickly added, "Now, don't worry. Nothing bad happened." At first, I thought maybe I had kicked them off in my sleep, so I pulled them back up and settled in again. But just as I started to doze off, the blankets started to slide again. This time, I was wide awake, but I still couldn't figure out what was going on. Grandpa leaned in and whispered. I grabbed the blankets and held onto them tightly. I thought, whatever's pulling these blankets, I'm not going to let them go. But then, I heard it. "Heard what?" Noah asked in a hushed voice. "Footsteps," Grandpa said with a grin. "Big, heavy footsteps, like someone or something was walking around my room." "Was it a monster?" asked Jack, half excited, half scared. Grandpa laughed. No monsters, but I didn't know that at the time. The footsteps were so loud, I thought it might be a giant. They sounded like they belonged to someone enormous. I lay very still, listening, and then I heard the footsteps move away from my bed and out into the hallway. The strange thing was, they didn't make a sound as they went through the door. I couldn't figure it out. The grandchildren were completely hooked on the story now, waiting to hear what happened next. Once the footsteps were gone, Grandpa continued, I convinced myself that maybe it was all just a dream. You know how dreams can feel very real sometimes. I thought that must have been it. So I got up, lit a small lamp, and checked the room. Everything looked normal. Nothing out of place, and the door was still locked. I even laughed at myself, thinking I had just imagined it. He smiled, but then something caught my eye. "What? What was it?" Lucy asked, leaning forward. Right there in the ashes by the fireplace, next to my own footprint, was a much bigger footprint. It was huge, way bigger than mine. "Was it the giant?" Noah whispered. Grandpa nodded. I didn't know it at the time, but yes, it was. I sat back down by the fire, trying to make sense of it all. The room was quiet again, and I started to relax. But just when I thought everything was fine, I heard those footsteps again. This time, they were getting closer and closer and closer, until finally, the kids held their breath. "A giant appeared in my room," Grandpa exclaimed with a grin. "But don't worry, he wasn't scary at all. In fact, he had a very kind face and looked really tired. I could tell he wasn't there to frighten me. He just needed someone to talk to." The children laughed, relieved that the giant was friendly. The giant looked around and said, "Oh dear, I've been walking for so long, and I haven't had a place to sit down in years." He was so big that when he tried to sit on one of my chairs, it broke to pieces. Grandpa laughed, and the kids giggled along. "He felt terrible about it," Grandpa continued, "but I told him not to worry. I gave him a big blanket and let him sit on the floor. He was much too big for the furniture anyway." We ended up having a nice chat by the fire. He told me that he had been wandering for ages, looking for a friend to talk to. He used to be part of a big statue at a museum, but he got tired of standing around all the time, so he decided to stretch his legs and explore the world. The children smiled, imagining the giant wandering around looking for someone to talk to. "I've been lonely for a long time," the giant said. "It's not easy being a giant, you know. Most people get scared when they see me, but I just want someone to talk to." "Poor giant," Emma said softly. "That's exactly what I thought," Grandpa agreed. "So I told him he could visit me anytime he wanted, and we sat there talking for hours. He told me about all the places he'd been and all the things he'd seen. It turns out he had lots of stories to share." Grandpa leaned back in his chair. By the time the sun started to rise, the giant looked much happier. He stood up, thanked me for the blanket, and promised to visit again. And just like that, he left, quietly slipping away into the morning light. "Did he ever come back?" Lucy asked. Grandpa smiled. "Oh, he stopped by every now and then. We became good friends, and whenever he visited, we'd sit by the fire and talk. He wasn't spooky at all, just a friendly giant who needed someone to listen." The children sighed, relieved that the story had a happy ending. "So remember," Grandpa said, "sometimes things that seem strange or even a little scary at first are often just misunderstood. You never know when you might meet a giant who just needs a friend." With that, Grandpa leaned down and gave each of his grandchildren a good-night hug. "Sweet dreams, kids, and don't worry, no giants tonight. But if you do see one, you'll know just what to do." The children giggled and snuggled deeper into their blankets, feeling safe and happy as they drifted off to sleep, dreaming of friendly giants and cozy fires. If you're still awake, it's the perfect time to whisper something kind to yourself. Take a deep breath, and in your mind or in a soft voice, say these gentle words. because when we speak kindly to ourselves, especially before bed, it fills our dreams with positivity and invites good things into our lives, helping us feel happy and at peace. I am kind, and my kindness can make new friends. I know that being different is okay, and it makes us special. I trust that everything will be okay, even when I'm unsure. I am patient, and I can take my time to understand others. I am thoughtful and know how to make others feel welcome. I am calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Good night. Sleep tight.